Sometimes it's deeply frustrating to pray with all your heart, laying out every emotion before God, yet look around and feel like nothing has changed. You cried, you believed, you asked, but your situation still seems the same. One way to understand this is to think about how a courtroom works. A judge doesn't make a ruling based on who is the most emotional or who pleads the loudest. The decision is made based on the evidence and the records that are presented. In our spiritual lives, we can sometimes exhaust ourselves praying emotionally about issues that actually have deeper roots. A pattern that keeps repeating in life isn't always just bad luck. Sometimes there's an underlying issue that has allowed it to keep returning. Breaking those cycles often means addressing the root of the problem. When the root is dealt with, the cycle loses its hold. Here are some ways the Bible helps us understand why certain struggles seem to stay stuck and how we can move forward. 1. The open door book of Proverbs 26:2 says that a curse without cause shall not come. In simple terms, it's a principle of cause and effect. Like a bird searching for somewhere to land, something negative usually needs a place to settle. If there's no landing place, no open door, it passes by. If a heavy pattern has settled in your life, it may be worth gently asking God to show you if something has been left unaddressed. This isn't about blame or shame. It's simply about identifying what needs to be closed so the door can finally be shut. 2. Stepping outside God's boundaries. In Book of Deuteronomy 28, the Bible describes blessings that follow obedience and consequences that follow disobedience. This isn't about God looking for ways to punish people. It's more like stepping outside the protection of a covering. When we knowingly move away from the wisdom and boundaries God sets, we can place ourselves in situations where the brokenness of the world affects us more directly. 3. Inherited patterns. Book of Exodus 25 talks about patterns of sin affecting later generations. Sometimes the struggle didn't start with you. Families can carry long-standing cycles: addiction, anger, poverty, or broken relationships that pass from one generation to another. These patterns can feel like a weight that keeps showing up in the same way across a family line. Recognizing those patterns is the first step toward breaking them. 4. The power of our words. Book of Proverbs 18:21 says, "Death and life are in the power of the tongue." Many times we speak over our own lives without realizing it. In moments of frustration, we might say things like, "Nothing ever works for me. I'll probably fail again. This problem runs in my family." Words shape how we think and how we see our future. Speaking defeat repeatedly can reinforce the very mindset that keeps us stuck. Being mindful about what we say over our lives can make a real difference. 5. Hidden things we haven't dealt with. In Book of Joshua 7, Israel lost a battle because one man, Achan, hid something that didn't belong in his tent. Sometimes we carry our own hidden weights: unforgiveness, bitterness, unhealthy habits, or things we know God has been asking us to let go of. Holding on to those things quietly affects our spiritual health. Letting them go can remove a burden we didn't even realize was influencing our lives. The hope in the middle of it all. If any of this resonates and you realize there might be an open door somewhere, there's no need to panic or feel condemned. The message of the gospel is that grace is always greater than our mistakes. Epistle to the Galatians 3:13 says that Christ redeemed us from the curse by taking it upon himself. In other words, the price has already been paid. Because of that, moving forward can be simple and honest. 1. Acknowledge and turn back. Recognize where something may have gone off course and bring it before God with humility. 2. Let go of the agreement. Reject old patterns, whether they came from family history, negative words, or hidden struggles. 3. Trust what Jesus has already done. His sacrifice is the foundation of freedom. When old accusations or patterns try to return, you don't have to fight them with fear. You stand on the truth of what has already been finished. You don't have to keep fighting the same battle forever. Sometimes freedom begins the moment we identify the root, close the door, and remember that the victory has already been secured.